We run a lake services company using specialty equipment like this to clean lakes and ponds in our area. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 major pivots that we took into becoming a harvesting company. And just to give you a quick idea of what a harvesting company looks like, it's having a fleet of these bad boys to be able to clean entire lakes at once. And if you're curious how we got started with this in the first place, you can check out the video that Joe made. It has a very good explanation of how we originally got into this. But I hope that these videos are very helpful for you, because we didn't have many people to really learn this stuff from. So leave any comments of anything that you want to know to be able to help me make more videos for you guys, and drop a sub if you want to see more videos like this. But let's go back to 2022. So this is when we first started getting into the seaweed removal for lakefront homes. And we were very inefficient. We had no idea what we were doing. And we were just cleaning everything out, mostly by hand and kicking it up by our feet. We slowly started to buy more and more rakes, but that was the main thing that we had started out doing. We would have 2 guys in the water collecting it, throwing up on the beaches and whatever, and 2 guys hauling away. And that was our main process, and we only did lakefront homes. Then later on in the season, we decided to take our first pivot and started taking on small ponds. And this was a great pivot for us because it allowed us to take on a little bit bigger projects, a little bit more of a payday, but they were one-off jobs and they weren't recurring, and we couldn't take on too large of ponds. There was a happy medium that had to be made. So making that pivot was very important for us. It was helpful, but we actually don't do any hand removal of small ponds anymore. But then let's jump into the end of 2024, where we actually started to introduce the WeDo. And we dominated with this entire 2025 season. It made us great money, but it had a lot of strings attached. Yes, it saved us from a lot of backbreaking work, but we dealt with a lot of things breaking down with it. We had different fluid leaks with it and water getting into the gasoline. There was a lot of different random things that we were having to fix and change, and it wasn't on the water for multiple days in a row with maintenance. So the boat was great. It was an awesome, important pivot for us to take on some of these bigger commercial projects, but it just wasn't super practical, and we actually didn't like the 2 original buckets that came with it. They were very inefficient, so we worked with a company to be able to modify and custom 2 different buckets. It's a cool boat, and it has its strengths and weaknesses, and that's why we decided to buy an inland harvester. And this was our 3rd and our biggest pivot into becoming a harvesting company. We purchased it in cash, and the ROI is absolutely insane. You can make your money back in as little as like 2 to 5 months, depending on how much work you're filling with that harvester. But it's unbelievable and has a crazy lifetime. So I'm excited to see this harvester outlive us and be the beginning of our fleet. This boat now allows us to take on large recurring contracts with municipalities, lake associations, home associations, and etc. We specifically got the Inland 100 because you don't need your CDL and allows us to be very mobile, moving between different lakes and ponds on a daily basis. But I'm really excited to be dominating the 2026 season with the harvester, because it is a huge step in the direction of that we want to be in eventually as a major harvester company throughout the Midwest. So those are the 3 main pivots that brought us from working with our hands to operating specialty equipment. So drop a comment of any other videos that you want to see, or what was helpful in this video to allow me to make better videos to aid you guys. So stay tuned for the 2026 season.